Hello and welcome to an episode of the Viking Spotlight where we share stories from Limerick students and staff. Today I am here with the editors-in-chief from the Epic, Limerick's newspaper, and they're here to talk about their experience being student journalists and what they would tell people who might want to apply for the Epic. So why did you guys decide to join the Epic 3 years ago?
Okay, I guess I'll start. I applied to Epic kind of on a whim. The first article that I kind of really looked into in the Epic was this drama article, and I thought it was really interesting. And I was always super pumped to get like the newspaper when I was in PE class, like that was my 5th period. And I just thought that it would be cool to apply. I wasn't always like a super strong writer. I wasn't always someone who really loved to write and really loved design, so it was never planned in my high school career. I just kind of applied on a whim when I heard about it, and I was like, oh, this could be a cool opportunity.
Yeah, pretty similar. Yeah, I kind of applied on a whim too. I mean, I knew I enjoyed writing, but I wasn't sure if I would like journalistic writing, and I kind of I also liked just reading articles in the Epic when it would come out, and I kind of thought it'd be cool to apply and just see, and it'd be a cool experience to actually write those articles.
I share the same experience too. Applied on a whim. And what is your favorite part about being a student journalist on the Epic staff?
I think something that is very unique about the Epic is that it's also a class, and that's something that I really enjoy just because we get to see the same people, we get to see them every day during class, we get to get a lot of work done during class, but also we have this time of production after school, and that's one of my favorite things. I kind of forgot the question when I was answering it, but yeah, that's one of my favorite things, just having production and seeing the same people every day really builds those connections, and it really helps with team chemistry and getting a lot of work done.
Yeah, definitely agree. And also, just to add on to that, I think one part that I really enjoy of being a student journalist is just the chance to interact with the community. We have a lot of people doing really awesome things at Limerick that you might not even hear about, students, staff, admin, and it's just really cool to get to talk to people, even outside of Limerick. It's just really cool to get to talk to people and just see what they're doing, write about them, and yeah, I think it's a really awesome experience.
You guys talked about production. Can you guys maybe elaborate on that? So what happens during production?
Sure. So during production, it's a week cycle after school, and basically what we do is we do a lot of the designing of each newspaper spread, designing infographics and just photos and stuff like that of what the layout of the newspaper is, and a lot of the time we also get a lot of story work done and just overall stuff like that. And production is really a great time for us to get a lot of work done on our newspaper, as well as just interact with people in our section and in the staff in general, and just really form really strong bonds. And it's also a really fun time because we get a lot of food and stuff like that.
Yeah. And what has Eshani, you talked about meeting new people. What's something what's a really powerful experience that you've had in the Epic?
I think this is actually one of my first stories that I wrote. Actually, it was my 2nd issue, and it was an in-depth article about autism. And I hadn't really interacted with the special ed community before that, and I was kind of thrown into the story, and I actually really enjoyed writing it. I was kind of worried at first how it was going to turn out. I was a pretty new staff writer, didn't have much writing experience, but it was really cool. We talked to some special ed students, and their experiences I think were really impactful for me, and I was still a bit nervous about journalism then, but I think that really made me start really loving the experience, because I got to learn something I never really imagined I would get from journalism, but it was still really awesome. And even after that, there's been countless stories that I think that have really opened up my perspectives on different things.
Wow. And so what has being part of Epic taught you, and what are some skills you're going to take with you even after you graduate?
I would say this is pretty, this applies to a lot of publications in general, but just the emphasis of collaboration I think is key, and just playing to your strengths and weaknesses. I think a lot of the times we like to utilize certain staff strengths, for example in design or writing, and we like to use that to our advantage and to make our paper really the best paper that we can make it. Yeah.
And then just adding on to that, like, also like you learn a lot of technical skills as well. I think I really got a chance to improve my writing, journalistic writing, something I hadn't done before, but I think it's just, yeah, I definitely really enjoyed it. And then also learning how to design using Photoshop and design, I'd never used that before.
Mm-hmm.
And I can say, like, at least I can, like, make something now out of using those programs. I think that's really cool. And now we have, like, a website so people can learn to, like, code and, like, make, like, videos. So it's really taking photos. It's just, like, a really broad range of things, and all staff members, like, do everything. And some people might, like, excel in certain areas, like Catherine said, but everyone gets the chance to explore everything, which I think is really cool.
Awesome. And do you guys have a favorite memory from being on the Epic?
I think one of my favorite memories is probably convention from last year. That was like one of my favorite experiences just because like traveling, like not abroad, but like out of the state is something that it's kind of like a rare opportunity, and it was a lot of fun going with like my Epic staffers and just like meeting other journalists from other schools and around the country. That was a lot of fun, and yeah, I think that was my favorite experience.
I think that was probably my favorite experience too.
Yeah.
But even like also like just regular like production days, and sometimes I think those are really awesome experiences too. Just like bonding with people. Sometimes we're all working hard, but also just a chance to like, talk to the people that you might not have talked to much before. Like when I was a sophomore, like my section was like a senior, so it was just cool talking with her, like learning, like just yeah. I think that bonding experience is really awesome.
What has been like a challenge that you've overcome?
I think one of the biggest challenges that I've overcome is just like overall my insecurity of writing. As a freshman, I was always looking at my drafts for like a lot of times before I would submit it to like a section editor or the editor-in-chief, just because I wasn't really comfortable with how like I wrote my articles, and I just really wanted to like show like everyone my best writing, and I think that was something that I had to overcome because yeah, as a first draft, everyone makes mistakes, and like everyone's first drafts can be improved, and I thought that like that was something that I had to overcome because I had to realize that not every first draft was perfect.
For me, I think it was just becoming like more outgoing and just like I've always been like a more like introverted person, and I think being in the Epic really helped me like open up. I was initially really scared of like doing interviews. I wasn't really comfortable with it, but I think just having to do it so many times and actually talking to really cool and interesting people really helped with that. I definitely think I'm now like more comfortable with even just like not in journalism related, but just any like situation required to like be outgoing, or like I think that's definitely helped me a lot.
Yeah. And one last question: what would you tell a prospective staff member who might apply to the Epic?
I would say definitely don't be afraid to try to join the Epic. I think definitely like I would never have dreamed that I would be a part of a newspaper when I was like a freshman or before then either. Yeah, I think definitely just if you're interested even in the slightest bit, definitely apply to be a part of the Epic. It's a really great experience and you really learn a lot.
I agree, and also like whatever you're interested in, we have something like for you, like writing, design, photos, like web, multimedia. Like we have a lot of different opportunities available for all our staff members, so everyone should definitely apply.
Yay.
Yeah, so thank you so much for watching this episode of the Viking Spotlight. For the Epic, applications are due Thursday, April 5th, which is pretty soon. And so if you have any questions, you can always leave them in the comments below. And so we are going to be featuring all Limbrick publications from Vertigo, Valhalla, and Aletheia. So stay tuned for that, and thank you so much for watching.